All right. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the hardship and frustration in Nigeria continue to intensify, and for the very first time in a very long time, prices of some food items refused to go down even as we enter the harvest season, because the volume of harvest this year is lower than ever due to insecurity. Little wonder the United Nations Food Programme released a statement saying the next lean season in Nigeria, that is, the period when the newly harvested crops begin to finish, they said that period will see millions of Nigerians who are struggling to feed now join the ones who can no longer feed themselves. And according to them, the hunger will be life-threatening except something is done quickly by the government. But we haven't seen anything in that direction yet. So this insecurity that many Nigerians have overlooked simply because they or their loved ones have not been kidnapped has now found a way of touching every single one of us. The inflation in Nigeria today is partly caused by insecurity. The kidnappers, bandits, and headsmen have destroyed production in the southwest and northern Nigeria. Look at what they are doing in Benue. Yoruba farmers have cried out many times that their farms have been taken over, and few hours ago, protests broke out in northern Nigeria and southwest Nigeria. While the northwest was protesting against insecurity, the southwest was protesting against hunger. And of course, we just established how hunger and insecurity are closely related. And while northern protesters faced the police, protesters in the southwest stormed the house of their state governor. And these two protests add up to make 10 different protests since the end of the End Bad Governance protest on the 10th of August. And all 10 protests were unannounced. And I believe that the revolution will begin without announcement. Before I show you these protests and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you what the average Nigerian is going through in the streets as a result of the corruption in the oil sector. Watch this video.
It's a difficult time for motorists and other end users of PMS, as premium motor spirit, though available in some of the filling stations, remains completely out of reach for those who are unable to afford the high cost, which sells between 800 to 950 naira per litre.
I see but the fare too cost. I buy the fare 950, but the fare now is no good. It's like water. The fare is not even enough to use space at all. You buy the fare now 2.5. Before they sell it 850, but now they sell it 900, 950.
They are selling 950, sir. 950 per litre, sir. So, make government should help us, please. Government should help Nigeria. This we are so far.
Some of the respondents who told AIT that they have been on the queue since 4 a.m. local time Wednesday to get fuel say the continued fuel supply crisis in Nigeria has once again reaffirmed government insensitivity to the plight of citizens.
I am just tired. I've been here since 4:30. 4:30 I woke up. 4 o'clock I woke up. I got here 4:30. I'm still on the queue. The queue has not moved. Nobody is selling. I don't understand. Your system is just, it's as if the country is collapsing. We don't understand what is happening.
We just wish to get out of this mess very fast so I can go back to my normal work, because by now I should be out to work, but I'm here stuck inside the queue to buy fuel. So it's very crazy.
So the NNPC and the federal government have continued to reassure citizens of PMS availability. What is on ground, however, contradicts the position of government and the NNPC as citizens continue to grapple with the pains of fuel scarcity across Nigeria.
You heard that. What is on ground will always contradict what the government says, because it is all about propaganda and lies for them. Since I was born and now I am getting old, this has been the story of Nigeria. Petrol selling at exorbitant prices and periodic terrible petrol scarcity. The APC came in and made the situation 10 times worse than we have always had it. And the solution to these problems are simple. Get our local refineries to work and supply them crude oil to refine and sell petrol cheap to Nigerians. But how can they allow that to happen? All the people that take over Aso Rock have people importing petrol for them. We all saw the revelation about Tinubu's refinery in Malta. His nephew, Wale Tinubu, is also one of the biggest importers of petrol in Nigeria. He has just taken over all the NNPC filling stations using a fraudulent means. Buhari is in the oil business too, and that is how they have been taking turns in ripping this country apart. Imagine a man leaving his house by 4 a.m. in the morning in search of petrol in an oil-producing country. 950 naira per litre, yet Nigerians can't find petrol to buy. And there is no getting out of this, at least not with the APC. There is a dangerous game being played in the oil sector. This dangerous game being played in the oil sector makes successive Aso Rock occupants keep naming themselves ministers of petroleum. Buhari named himself Minister of Petroleum. Tinubu named himself Minister of Petroleum. There is a transaction they are hiding and it needs to be uncovered. And to uncover it, you will need a man in charge whose heart beats for the people. Such men do not exist within the APC. Even if a man is built like that, even if he functions like that, he cares about the people. The moment he joins the APC, he will become an evil man. And that is why Nigerians must do everything to get the APC out of power, if truly they desire redemption. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at the protest in the northwest and southwest Nigeria. Let us start by taking the northwest protest, where the people protested against the kidnap and killing of the Emir of Sokoto. See the video. And you can see protesters here attacking a police station. They are trying to burn down the police station. And I believe at this point, the police officers must have fled their station, but we can still hear gunshots in the air. But the protesters are not fazed at all. And another group of protesters here in the market in the same Sokoto wreaking havoc, protesting against insecurity in the state, especially as it relates to the recent killing of the Emir.
su nuna ma duniya cewa wanga abu ya musu zahi da bakin ciki. Muna gode ma matasa yanzu hakan ga matasa sun nuna bakin cikin su da nuna alhinin su game da.
You saw that. A whole emir kidnapped and killed. I heard the protesters went further to the house of the deputy governor of the state. If kidnappers and bandits can't catch politicians, the people will catch them. It is only a matter of time. At this point, it is obvious to everyone that the mother of all protest is still brewing. And when it begins, heads will roll. Because even the security forces cannot stop the people. They might even join the protest. Now, let us look at that protest in Ondo State, southwest Nigeria. About a week ago, women in this same Ondo State protested half naked. 3 days after that, there was another protest. And now, there is another protest. This time around, the people went to the governor's office in Akure to protest. Slowly but surely, the masses will eventually eat up the politicians. Let's take the protest that happened in Akure, Ondo State. Women, including widows with babies strapped to their backs, were at the governor's office, Akure, to protest against economic hardship. Some women have staged a protest in Akure, the Ondo State capital, over the current economic hardship in the country. The women, some of whom are widows and had their babies strapped to their back, gathered at the governor's office, Alagbaka, Akure, chanting solidarity song to press home their demands. Specifically, the protesters lamented that they could no longer feed their family or fund their children's education due to the level of poverty in the nation. Speaking on behalf of the protesters, Mrs. Folashade Adewumi called on both Ondo State and federal government to consider women, especially widows, for soft loans and palliatives. The Adewumi, who vowed that they would continue their protest until their demands are met and they receive the help they need to sustain their businesses and provide for their families, asked the government to ensure transparency in the intervention programs. She also demanded government intervention in form of palliatives to help them cope with the financial strain caused by the hardship. Addressing the women, Special Advisor to Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa on political and public policy, Mr. Ademola Adewale acknowledged the plight of the women and also promised to look into their demands and provide them with necessary assistance. Where was the governor himself? They came to his office, he had fled. Now, these are just women and widows. These ones are begging him for handouts. This is a joke compared to what is coming. The women can come and beg you for handouts, and you are running away from the women. Don't worry. The youths are coming. The angry elders are coming. The retirees that you have neglected are coming. The men, the young, energetic youths are coming. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by Amadu Maro says, "The looting, corruption, bad governance, call it whatever, is on the rise in this country. We need change. Nigeria really needs change. And that change can never come to be until the people, especially young Nigerians, rise up." And this tweet by Olayinka Olani says, "Poverty in Yoruba land is increasing. It is increasing so much." Afe Babalola, senior advocate of Nigeria, who used to be, a big supporter of Tinubu, has finally come out to criticize him that he has turned Nigerians to beggars, especially the Yorubas, with his palliatives. Look at it, these women coming to the governor's office to beg. It is a protest. Yes, they said they will continue protesting, but what are the things they are asking for? They are not asking for the real change. But this is where it begins. It is going to degenerate. Because no matter the palliatives that are given to you, when it finishes, you will return to being poor and hungry again. And that is how the revolution comes in. And this tweet by Oluwatobi says, "It will be unannounced." That is it. The revolution will be unannounced because all these things are just popping up. Nobody hears of any protest being planned. All of a sudden, you see women gather in large number, half naked. You see farmers gather in large number, demanding for change. This is how it is going to happen. This is the 10th protest since the End Bad Governance protest took place. We are getting there. And this tweet by Dr. Kennon says, "Gradually, spontaneous national protest will erupt." Of course it will. And Adelove here was being sarcastic. He said, "This is not a genuine protest because he doesn't have leaders. Therefore, they are being sponsored by losers, useless government. They will tell you that citizens shouldn't protest because they don't have leaders, as if those people on the streets are ghosts. All of us will get sense in a hard way." That is it. The hardship will make everybody wise, and then we will demand the right things to be done in this country, a country that belongs to all of us. And this tweet here says, "National protest won't be announced. It will erupt, and that will bring the end of the criminals in Aso Rock." Chai! And that is the present situation in Nigeria as of today. Protests resurfacing in every part of the country aside the southeast. And this is just the beginning. As I speak, another operation just took place in Zamfara. Look at it. Bandits kidnap 10 locals in Zamfara, demand 50 million naira. These ones are gone. There is no need to even talk much. These ones are gone. Nobody's going to raise the 50 million naira there. Before you know, you hear that they have wasted them. That is how human lives are being wasted in Nigeria daily. And in the area of the economy, things keep getting worse. The price of cooking gas reportedly just soared. Even with all the lies they have been dropping that it is coming down, it will come down. Look at it. Prices of cooking gas rises 8.3% to 1,300 naira per kilogram. Investigation. The price of liquefied petroleum gas or cooking gas has risen to 1,300 naira per kilogram this month, representing 8.3% month on month from 1,200 in July. Similarly, the price of 5 kilogram cooking gas has risen by 8.3% to 6,500 naira from 6,000 naira it was sold in July 2024. Wow, this is going to be a very long journey, a very long ride for the average Nigerian. I don't know how people are going to cope with this economy going forward. And that is why the United Nations predicted that in the coming lean season, people who are struggling to feed now are going to fall into the category of people who have been unable to feed themselves, unless something drastic is done. But nothing is being done. Ever since they dropped that statement, the government has still been spending money on frivolities. No move to make things easier for the people. But I'm not surprised, because this is the APC. I don't expect anything less. And I keep saying it, before Nigerians can break loose out of these shackles of poverty, of hunger and hopelessness, they must come together and kick the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news where una go like. Why? Because now, because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.